So picture this. An illness makes the news, but it's not for the reason you're thinking. It's more because it's in the middle of a scandal right now. Kind of like the scandal we're in currently, where we're trying to figure out the true identity of Becky with the good hair. Seriously, who is she? Like, we heard like 5 different names already. So, in the middle of this scandal, the illness decides to hold a press conference and apologize publicly. However, the viewer watching, including myself, are going to be like, it's an illness, he's only sorry because he got caught. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Rodriguez. Now, personally, I don't recommend watching every episode of this show. If anything, I give you guys a 2-video limit. Binging, I mean, it's okay. Live your life, like Rihanna would put it. Just do me a favor and don't watch and drive. It can wait. I will tell you, however, that sometimes I look back at the older episodes of this show and give myself a weekly performance review. And yes, at times I will use too much sauce. What, do you want a promotion or something? Just a little SpongeBob humor for you. But yeah, I noticed the first 18 episodes of this show are like completely different. It's like a 17-year-old senior in high school. Feels like he's part of some sort of a rebel stage of his life where he just talks to a camera and thinks he knows what he's talking about. But you know, before we had Siri, and yet we still had the iPhone, you still had to write stuff down in the Notes app. And you still had to write stuff in the memo pad somewhere. In fact, you know, actually, yeah, I know it's a little cliche, but we still have to write in these things. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. And please don't doubt it. If you have simply a credit card in your hand, you will max it out at a mall or a local vineyard, if that's what they're called. Hey buddy, a vineyard is a grape yard, it's not a mall. Watch people you will meet. You would be so disappointed in what I had to say in that video. It's... what can I say? There was actually a point in the show's history where I kept all the old videos, but I started the entire show over from scratch. And that was like so abridged, so ridiculous. It wasn't even funny. The backdrop, like, you've seen the backdrop in some of the From the Vault segments, but the backdrop had no effort. It looked like it was made in Microsoft Paint, which is a possibility because I didn't know Photoshop until about 10 months ago. Just because that's a phrase or whatever doesn't mean you could actually throw your dog like this. Up, up, and away we go. Up, up, and away we go. Let's not forget, like, how I started this certain format. I attempted to just stop using filler words altogether. The thing was, I was improvising, so of course it's going to seem like I'm shouting a little bit. And other sources of entertainment who like to make tributes to the intro using other people's work. Because it's going to be like, ew, you know, he was like some sort of a loose cannon, but then he calmed down later in his career. Well, that's not really the case. It's just trying to remember what the heck I wanted to say on that week's show. Thank you. I think this is the first time I'm actually going to need a minute. How people generally speak varies depending on who they're around at the time. Coward. I mean, just because when you're by yourself you just answer every question with, okay, doesn't mean when you're with your friends and you're talkative and you're like laughing, you're out loud, you can say whatever you want. That doesn't make you fake, like some people would call it, because you weren't being yourself. Well, I mean, I kind of mastered this in the 6 years of just talking to a camera alone, but usually when you're with yourself, you're all in here. You're talking with your mouth closed. Of course, you're going to answer things with, okay, or, well, what do you know? Not considering that half of you live in a fictional universe where everything is talking to yourself. Now, from what I've studied, if you're around one parent, you act a certain way, you speak a certain way. However, if you're around the other parent, you know they're a little more stricter, so you contain yourself. And if you're around both, the opposite parent is going to be like, how come she hates you so much? And that was a PSA to love both your parents equally because they love all their children the same. Alright, it's time for that weekly list known as the possibility list. It's kind of like when you're lying down, but you tell the truth all the time. Alright, this week's list is titled 5 Things to Never Tell a Clumsy Person. This might be the first vital list. At number 5, this plate is very hot. Number 4, watch that elbow. Or watch your elbow. Number 3, hold on to this, don't lose it. Number 2, don't drop it. And number 1, 5 things to never tell a clumsy person. These cups aren't machine washable. Okay, and that is the possibility list for you this week. Well, anyway, that is the show for you this week. You know to follow me on social media. Until next time, please enjoy the clip from The Vault. This is Rob Rodriguez, signing off. Good night, everybody. Another thing is you can't really lie on a reality show because the producers will be like, okay, this is all of this week's shows. Now, this event happened on Wednesday, correctly? Okay, let's pop this thing in.